Good Thursday night, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith, and we are in winter storm mode for this Sunday through Tuesday here in the Northeast Mid-Atlantic region. And that includes the Washington, D.C. area all the way up to Boston as well. And this is our winter storm video forecast discussion for this Thursday night, the 28th of January, 2021. No time to slack off. Cold Arctic air building into the northern mid-Atlantic coast all the way down through the Virginias here in the Carolinas and offshore with our storm system that's exiting the Carolinas. Now it's out over the ocean. Tight pressure gradient here, so it's been windy and gusty today and it's been cold. That is noted. Here comes our high pressure zone for tomorrow and into Saturday and early Sunday as well. And here's our new storm system, which will become our major winter storm here on the East Coast on Sunday through Tuesday. Lots of rain and wind and snow reports here in California today. Flood warnings obviously ongoing here as the storm system gets going off the west coast. This is the current temperatures this evening, and it's cold, and it's getting colder across all of this area here from the west coast all the way to the east coast, with the exception of Florida. Even that looks cold to me. The apparent temperature with the winds here making it feel extremely bitterly arctically cold here across Canada, portions of the northern plains, all the way down into the northeastern states here in the Appalachian and Green and White Mountains, all the way down to the Appalachians this evening. Our 24-hour temperature change, well, you can see we've had temperatures falling here, well below normal from Hudson's Bay all the way down to the East Coast, including Florida, and they're warming just a little bit across the Central Plains as that high pressure zone gets going. And then obviously with all this cold air in place here, we're gearing up for a major winter storm on the way. It's rapidly cooling down in Sussex County. Temperatures are in the teens right now, into the low and mid 20s and upper 20s just about everywhere else. The minimums from this morning, if we can pull this up, they were in the teens to low and mid 20s at the same time. What does it feel like outside right now? Let's see if we can pull this up, and they've corrected it. Yes, it feels like it is -5 to 3 above. This is cold air. And the wind speeds, well, let's see if we can pull this up and refresh this. Wind speeds this evening are gusty. They're in the 10 to 15 mile per hour range, a little stronger right along the coast at 20 mile per hour winds. And the wind gust, let's see if we can pull this up, 8:42 this evening. Yeah, we've got wind gusts still in the 20s and even low 30s here in spots, so it's quite windy. And that makes the air feel very cold. And why is there good agreement for everything that's going on with this winter storm versus the other ones that were here, like this one today, that traveled south of us? Well, we didn't really have interaction between these two branches. We had blocking, but we didn't have everything in the right direction. We do this time coming up. So here's that big ocean storm now heading out. And as we get in, this is the EPS European Ensemble from 12Z this morning. Now, notice again, as we head into Sunday, here's the clustering over the Ohio Valley, and here's our clustering off the Carolina coast. And the clustering has been further south, but more prominent over the area from the Delaware River Valley area out into the Atlantic, with a strong clustering here right along the benchmark of 4070. This is a classic example of a snowstorm here north and west of the I-95 corridor into the Hudson River Valley, into Connecticut and Boston, New York City, and Long Island as well. This looks good. And then, by Tuesday, 6Z, Tuesday morning, it stalls out a little bit. Again, this guidance looks pretty good considering everything that we're looking at right now. And the National Center of Environmental Predictions GEF model ensemble mean, the GFS ensemble, again, same thing with the storm that's heading out over the ocean now. And here comes Sunday night and Monday, and we've lost something here. Okay, we'll turn it back and look at the 12Z model data. The 18Z model data is still coming in. Again, by Sunday, Monday, February 1st. Storm track, again, very similar to the European model guidance and the clustering of where the low pressure centers will be. The ensemble minimum mean sea level pressure looks good too. If we could pull that up, this looks classic to me. This looks very classic to me. All the models pretty much agrees on this storm, so we're just going to go ahead and use the European model guidance for this broadcast for today right through the weekend. Now, as we move through the 500 millibar pattern and the relative vorticity, here's all that cold air evacuating, negative vorticity advection here in the New England states and off the mid-Atlantic coast as that low moves out to sea. As we go through the day on Sunday, well, we'll start off with a relative vorticity here. Here comes the northern plains low off the west coast that was here, now is digging into the desert southwest. And as it does so, it drives all the way into the Ohio River Valley and then begins to close off because it's interacting with this shortwave here over the Hudson's Bay region on the backside of this trough axis. So we know that we've got the dynamics here to close the 500 millibar low off as we head into the morning on Tuesday, Tuesday afternoon, and Tuesday night. And it's going to close off and slow up a little bit here. And the reason why is because the mid and upper layers of the atmosphere at 700 millibars and 850 millibar lows are also going to consolidate over this area. So it's going to slow up a little bit, and we've got more interaction, positive vorticity advection way on the back side. Now, the one thing here is we've got a new storm system coming in on Tuesday night and Wednesday off the west coast too, and that pushes the ridge axis through the central plains. That's the reason why this is heading in this direction here. And this ridge axis would be a little bit more perfect if it were located here instead of here. But nonetheless, the damage is probably going to be done nonetheless. Let's roll this back and look at the 700 millibar vertical velocity and the omega, the geopotential height here. I want to focus on Sunday night into Monday. There's a lot of omega here occurring, with lifting here occurring in the mid-levels of the atmosphere as this low begins to close off over the Ohio River Valley and then eventually off of the mid-Atlantic coast states. Now, by the time we get to Monday night, early Tuesday morning, we've already got plenty of lifting in the omega values here across central New Jersey into the I-95 corridor, and this is showing up too over the New York City metropolitan area as well. So it's going to take time, but on the day on Tuesday, there is a lot of lifting here that's going on in the atmosphere, and that's going to increase the chances of heavy wet snowfall across the route. And again, the ridge axis is not really perfect here. If you really wanted to see this is a Miller B storm, by the way, which is the transfer of energy to the coast, as we can see here. Miller A's are storm systems that ride up the East Coast, and I think we just lost that chart. Looking at the 300 millibar jet stream structure here, this is looking good. Trough becomes positively to negatively tilted here, and off the East Coast, the ridge axis over the plains. Again, here's our new storm system coming in with another jet culprit underneath it over the West Coast. So, it's not perfect, but it's one hell of a producer on impacts, and we'll tell you why. And then the pattern relaxes after that a little bit, but we don't want to move too much beyond this in this forecast right now. This interesting feature. Now, to get an idea of when the precipitation is going to begin, we have to look at the 700 millibar, 10,000 foot relative humidity values in percentages here. What we see is the cloud cover increasing from south to north on Sunday. So it should be cloudy and also precipitating on Sunday morning from, let's say, southern New Jersey through the Delaware River Valley area, where humidity is at 100%. And the cloud cover is rapidly increasing through all levels of the atmosphere throughout the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area by the time we head into Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. So, and then, it's over the top now. So what this shows me is that the cloud cover is going to increase rapidly across the region on Sunday morning through Sunday afternoon, and by Sunday night, everybody is in the cloud cover. If we move to the 850 millibar relative humidity, this gives me an idea also And this page is loading right now, so this gives me an idea here as we move into Saturday. All this dry air in place, northwest flow. Here comes the weekend storm. Here comes our winds coming in from the west now. Here comes increase in moisture here as we head into Sunday afternoon. So everybody becomes cloudy, and the precipitation starts in South Jersey first and the Delaware River Valley area, and we'll get into that in just a moment. Break out the 6-hour precipitation type and sea level pressure. Here's our ocean snow that's occurring right now and forecasted too as the cold air advection continues, and the type pressure gradient here overnight tonight into tomorrow, and that waxes and wanes a little bit. And we even have some lake effect snow and some watches out there this evening and tomorrow morning across the Great Lakes as that waxes and wanes too. Now, our focus here is on Sunday. Precipitation should start out as snow in southern Delaware and in northern Delaware, the I-95 corridor, Delaware Gap there. And snow should begin again across this region here as we get into, it could be a little bit of a dry slot here too. As we get into Monday, that's where the precipitation is really going to start increasing. And again, there are thermal profile differences where it started to snow in New Jersey, in southern New Jersey, especially south near Cape May and the ocean fronts there. That could change to a wintry mix by the time we get into Monday morning, and that is showing up in the guidance here as some sleet and even rain right along the immediate coast, but can already see the increase in the profile here for snow from the I-95 corridor north and east. And here's the one low pressure system here over the Ohio River Valley and the main storm center, or Miller B, forming here off of the Virginia-Carolina coast. Now, as we move into the day on Monday, this is where things are really going to get rocking and rolling. Because first of all, this area of low pressure here over the Ohio River Valley is weakening, and the secondary primary low here is forming the Miller B here off the and stretching off the Carolina coast here into the northeast. So this shows me that snow could be falling quite heavily from the I-95 corridor north and west. Lighter snows here across the Hudson River Valley, northwestern New Jersey, but this shows me that banding that is starting to already develop with frontogenetic forcing and stretching. And we see the stretching here because we see this here, this signal here on the diagram of the pressure gradient here, the low pressure area. Well, this is a lot of stretching here and very heavy snow and sleet falling here from, let's say, north and west of I-95, even into northwestern New Jersey here. There's a lot of snow going to come down, and the snow ratio is going to be about 10-1 as you head into the Hudson River Valley area, maybe 12-1, Sussex County 12-1. But still, you know, I wouldn't discount any of this because what looks like there's going to be some kind of convective banding, and we're not going to get out of this until Tuesday night and Wednesday morning as the storm really bombs out off the New England coast at 988 millibars, and then there it goes. Well, this next chart here is the European model guidance 6-hour precipitation, 10 millimeter wind barbs, and mean sea level pressure and thickness. So this tells me a lot. Now, we're starting out with a northwest flow. Now, high pressure moves off the coast. Now we're starting with the northeast to east flow here, and the precipitation breaking out on Sunday evening rather, into Monday morning. Now, this is a total of a 6-hour precipitation. So here's the freezing line, the 540 thickness line here across the Delaware River area, southern New Jersey, and here's our precipitation starting out in this area here as the main low weakens here over the Ohio River Valley, and this area strengthens. As we get towards, let's say, late Tuesday night, Monday night into Tuesday morning, we've got a stiff northeast wind developing here, and it's freshening out over the ocean, and our thicknesses are about here. So this is some moderate to heavy snow and sleet here in southern New Jersey, especially right along the coastal plain. And this shows me that the winds are increasing and the precipitation amounts are also increasing during this time period. And as we head into the morning hours on Tuesday, well, we skipped over this. Let's get back to Monday. Yeah, this looks good. Deformation banding looks good, and we're not going to get out of this without at least a change over to snow, even at the coast in places where it snowed first and then changed to rain and mixed with sleet and then changed back to snow with a stiff northeast wind. Now, I would suspect that the National Weather Service is going to put out winter storm watches probably sometime tomorrow, maybe even on Saturday at the very latest, but I think sometime tomorrow. I'll check that right now. Taking a look at the mid-level 850 millibar temperatures here, well, there is the chance again on Monday and afternoon, Monday evening, and Tuesday morning of the precipitation changing over to a little bit of a mix here right along the immediate coast. Now, everybody else, well, that looks good. This is a 10-to-1 ratio snow in terms of 850 millibar temperatures here. This looks good to me. Take a look at the 950 millibar temperatures. Again, this page is loading, so just give me a second here. It takes a while. 925 millibar temperatures, which is close to about 3,000 feet in the atmosphere. As we head into Monday, it's marginally warm right along the southern immediate coast here, but everybody else looks cold enough for snow. Yes, definitely. Oh yeah. European model guidance, total precipitation in the form of liquid. So if we're seeing temperatures the way that I showed you on the 850 millibar and 925 millibar scale here, and then also the banding that's considered to be here and then further here, well, by the time this storm is over, we could be dealing with some areas here that could be receiving better than 2 inches of liquid precipitation. Other areas here to the north and west over Sussex County less, but again, the snow factor, the snow ratio will be about 12, 13 to 1. So you're still going to get a snow. It'll be a fluffier snow, but still you're going to get quite a lot of snow in this area. But where the banding forms, and again, even if the model guidance shows the bands here and then virtually here eventually, it doesn't really matter. You're going to get quite a lot of snow and sleet from this situation. Now, when we look at snowfall totals and 10 to 1 or, snow ratios, we're looking at the differences of the temperature at 850 millibars, 925 millibars, which I just showed you. Now, and of course, deformation banding or convective slantwise precipitation, snowfall, deformation stretching in the atmosphere with our low pressure area here, which could be stalling for several hours over this area here off of the benchmark here from 40 north and 70 west. So basically, we can be dealing with now, should not take this verbatim, but you should generally get an idea that a very heavy snowfall is going to be likely across the entire area, including the coast, with the exception for the immediate southern New Jersey coast, like right along the immediate coast, but still. And wherever the heavier banding falls, that's where you're going to receive even higher amounts. But, we're looking at a substantial snowfall here. I wouldn't take these numbers verbatim because, again, this area here, that's going to be included in the deformation banding and the stretching that the model guidance is showing right now, and that is variable, and convective banding is set to change because you could be 75 to 25 miles to the east or to the north and northwest of where the heavier snowfall in these bands fall in the deformation zone. And we don't have that information yet. We won't have that until the day progresses on Monday. So this is going to be our second major winter storm of the season. Our first one was back on December 16th and 17th of last December 2020. Also a horrendously terrible year. We did pretty good in the north. So-so in the central and south, not so good along the coast, and again, Well, that's going to do it for now for the winter storm video forecast discussion. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. For everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You be safe out there, stay warm. Everybody's suffering from either COVID or a cold or, the economy. The whole world, actually. The whole world actually sucks right now. Period. Exclamation point. We'll be back with you soon. Have a good evening.